Hello, my dear Virgo friends. I'm so happy to welcome you for this intuitive guidance for the months of July and August. I hope you're all doing really, really well. This guidance is for you, whether you're a Virgo sun, rising, or moon sign. Let's begin with a short global overview, starting with the major arcana. You've drawn the Empress and the Hanged Man as the energies that will help you fulfill your soul's mission over these 2 months. You also have Judgment in your professional and financial life, which suggests a renewal or awakening. We'll explore that further in a moment. And finally, the Lovers appear at the end of August. So let's begin directly with the heart of this reading, what matters most during these 2 months. In other words, what your soul is truly longing for at this point in your life. I've decided to focus my readings on the soul because when we live and act from our soul, not from the ego or the small self, we naturally become aligned. Life gets easier, happier, and more fulfilling in every sense. Right now, your soul is longing for something represented by the Six of Cups and the Eight of Wands. The Six of Cups often embodies a sense of nostalgia, as if we remember a time when life was gentler, simpler, and more authentic. It might evoke childhood, with its moments of innocence and purity, but also more recent memories. Look at this boy offering flowers to this little girl. He's not expecting anything in return. There are no masks or roles being played here. And the scene is deeply comforting, with the home in the background, the blooming garden. Everything speaks to simple, yet essential values. And in this position, I believe your soul longs to return to that state, to relive that sense of inner harmony, where everything flows naturally, without stress. And the Eight of Wands amplifies this dynamic, but with a sense of urgency. We see this woman surrounded by wild animals in an almost magical setting, with wands floating around her like a call. Your soul doesn't just want to return to the innocence and peace of the past. It clearly wants to embody it now by answering a powerful inner call. It's possible you'll experience a sudden revelation, or that something will happen, or the universe might bring you an opportunity to help you reconnect to this inner purity. It's truly a powerful message because you're being called to relive a kind of truth or way of being that's very old, perhaps even karmic. There's a call to remember who you were before life got complicated and to reconnect with that person. But with the experience and wisdom of who you've become, it's beautiful. Now let's look at what the universe is sending to help you rediscover this deep joy and purity. You have 2 very powerful major arcana, the Empress and the Hanged Man. The Empress invites you to reclaim your inner power, and this may come through a form of creativity. She represents everything that is in gestation. That's why she is often shown pregnant. It's everything that needs time to ripen but already exists within you. I believe you've had an idea or a desire for some time, something you want to create or experience, but it hasn't yet materialized. Are you thinking of changing your lifestyle, the way you spend your days, your work, your environment? Maybe a dream you haven't yet brought to life, but something that is definitely there and very much alive? And the Hanged Man complements this message in a very interesting way. He tells you that to nurture this seed, you'll have to change your perspective. Maybe you've already tried to bring this project to life, but it didn't work out. Or maybe you've been thinking about it for a long time, but remain stuck at the, I'd really like to do this or that stage, yet nothing is happening. The Hanged Man encourages you to look at things differently. It may not be the project itself that needs changing, but perhaps the way you're thinking about it. Should you change how you want to make it happen? Or if you're alone, maybe you should team up with someone, or on the contrary, do it solo. I don't know. You'll adapt this to your own experience, but try to envision several possible scenarios. It could be the project itself, slightly different, or the way you plan it. In any case, together, the Empress and the Hangman show that this return to deep joy won't come through hard work or struggle, but simply by reconnecting with your creative power and shifting your perspective. Now let's move on to your main challenge during July and August, represented by the Nine of Cups and the Three of Cups. So, an emotional challenge. The Nine of Cups is also called the Wish Fulfilled card. It represents a form of accomplishment that brings beautiful emotions. But remember, this is in your challenge position. So we return to the same theme. I think there's a project or a dream you want to realize that will bring you back to emotions you felt earlier in life, maybe years ago, or even in childhood, as we saw at the start of the reading. But something is blocking that dream and preventing you from experiencing the emotions you long for right now. And this is reinforced by the Three of Cups, because this card speaks of joy and happy moments shared with others. But again, we're in your challenge. So there's truly a current struggle in emotionally living the life your heart desires. What's interesting now is to see what the universe is sending to help you overcome this challenge, to finally achieve a dream or wish that is dear to your heart and will bring you those beautiful emotions. And you have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Let's start with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a true gift from the universe. It's a blessing. You'll receive an opportunity that will present itself to you without you having to force it. Look at this divine hand emerging from the clouds, offering you a cup overflowing with pure water, symbolizing love, inner peace, and emotional healing. The white dove with its olive branch reinforces this message. It's as if the universe is saying, "You've carried enough, now it's time to receive." This gift can take many forms. It could be a meeting, a message, or an unexpected opportunity. But you'll recognize it because it will awaken that deep joy we spoke about. And the Seven of Wands encourages you to stand your ground and protect your dream. Look at this woman. It seems like she's being attacked by flying creatures, maybe bats. Yet she stands firm, determined. She doesn't run away. She gives up nothing. It's possible that people around you don't understand what you want to do or live, or they question your project or try to discourage you, maybe projecting their own fears. And that doesn't take away from their love or feelings for you. But in any case, the Seven of Wands says don't give up. Don't let others decide what's right for you. And this is a precious help because this card reminds you that the universe fully supports you, but you must assert yourself. And this completely echoes the Empress we saw earlier. Remember, that Empress was calling you to reconnect with your inner power. So listen to your inner voice, follow your dreams, and don't act based on what others expect from you. Your decisions and choices must come from you and you alone. It's a beautiful message. Let's now continue with the hidden gift behind your challenge. Because as you know, when the universe sends us a test or something that's not so easy to live through, there is always something positive. Always. Of course, we don't see it right away. Sometimes we realize it weeks, months, or even in major challenges years later. And I've chosen to reveal this gift that you may not be seeing right now to support you as you move through this stage. And here, it's represented by the beautiful Knight of Cups and the Three of Wands. We're still in the emotional realm with this Knight, and to understand the gift, it's essential to know what drives him. The Knight of Cups doesn't follow plans, calculations, or even a strategy. He follows his heart. That's his guide, and that's exactly what awaits you. A reconnection to your deepest emotions. And remember the start of the reading. Your soul longs, with the Six of Cups, to reconnect with this deep joy. It's possible that in recent years, you've gotten a bit lost along the way. Maybe you've made choices based on logic, what seemed reasonable, or what others expected from you, but not truly based on what you deeply felt. Now the universe shows you that the gift is, you'll find that compass again. Your emotions will be your guide, and your heart will make the decisions. And this is truly fascinating because this return to yourself will lead you to the Three of Wands, which here symbolizes a perfect alignment. Also, keep in that you experience a deep realignment between what you think, what you say, what you do, and most importantly, what you feel. And that alignment is one of the most beautiful gifts we can receive. Because as I said at the beginning of this guidance, when we are aligned with our soul, life becomes simpler, happier, more prosperous, and of course, more gentle. Let's continue with your emotional life in July and August. And this is really interesting, as we'll see, because it perfectly confirms everything we've seen so far. This quest to rediscover that deep joy, that innocence and purity you've lost. And for that, you have the King of Swords and the Four of Cups. The King of Swords is a king who fully masters his realm, the swords, which represent mental clarity, the ability to cut through and decide. Look at his posture. He's determined. He has no doubt. He knows what he wants. He embodies the ability to make decisions without being swayed by confusing emotions or others' opinions. And this is exactly what you're being called to do emotionally. Take back the power over your inner life. Become the one who decides what you allow into your heart. And alongside him, the Four of Cups gives us precious insight into what might be blocking you right now. This card speaks of emotional fatigue. It's possible that not much excites you at the moment. You might feel a bit detached from everything, not even noticing opportunities, due to an inner emptiness. And here the message becomes powerful. You're being called to evaluate your current life. Take stock. What brings you joy? Or on the contrary, what weighs you down, drains, or even exhausts you? And this King of Swords tells you, sort through it. That's the key word for your emotional life this summer. Make a clear and honest distinction between what truly nourishes you and what drains you, to return to what truly matters. Now, I'm not telling you to quit everything overnight. This isn't a card of brutal breakups. You just need to rediscover what lights you up. So for instance, if this concerns your work, it's not about quitting your job to paint watercolors and hoping to live off them tomorrow. But maybe it's about doing two things in parallel, or slowly reintroducing into your daily life what truly nourishes you, while maintaining some form of financial or material security. We're talking here about a deep refocus, not reckless risk-taking. And that's really interesting because it brings us back once again to the Six of Cups from the start, the forgotten joy your soul is seeking to rediscover. Now let's move to your professional and financial life. But this also includes anything that fills your days, what you spend your time and energy on. And you've drawn two strong cards, Judgment, a major arcana, and the Five of Wands. So I think the heart of your reading may lie in your professional life, or in whatever currently occupies your days from morning to night, because there's clearly movement and probably an important turning point. Judgment is the image of inner awakening. Look at the angel blowing its trumpet, and we see these people almost frozen until now. Sometimes they're shown rising from graves, and now they're awakening, turning towards the light. Judgment often marks a radical shift. There's no turning back, as if you suddenly become aware of something you hadn't seen before. This could be an inner realization, or an external event, or even a meeting, but in any case, something pushes you to reevaluate everything you're doing. And in your professional life or daily activities, this might mean that after months or even years stuck in routine or stagnation, you suddenly start to see things with a new clarity, like a veil being lifted. And next to that, the Five of Wands gives us additional insight. Look at these characters facing danger, almost battling this fire-breathing dragon in a hostile environment. The Five of Wands often represents tension, challenges to overcome, even rivalry. Now, I don't know if these resistances are around you, in your environment, or within you, but either way, this inner awakening is pushing you to do things differently, even if your current circumstances don't quite support it yet. But whatever the timing, there's clearly an opportunity for deep transformation in your work, your routine, or even your relationship with money for some of you. Something inside you is shifting, and there will be no going back. I think you're about to reclaim a kind of wisdom in your work or your schedule, but this time based on your emotions, as we saw earlier. Because don't forget the core message of this reading. What your soul most longs for is to rediscover that deep and forgotten joy. Let's now turn to your evolution at the end of August, after these 2 intense months. You've drawn the Lovers, our last major arcana, and the Seven of Pentacles. And this is truly fascinating because, again, it confirms the heart of this reading, the core message of what your soul is yearning for. Look at the Lovers. Yes, it's a card of love, soulmates, twin flames, but not only that, the Lovers go beyond. It's about your alter ego, everything that makes your heart sing, your other half. It could be your dream home or the country you've always longed to live in. It could be a pet that brings you joy, a supportive family or friendship circle, or a partner who loves, encourages, and supports you no matter what. And it can also be a lifestyle, like doing the work you dreamed of as a child or working in a way that feels perfectly aligned to you. It might even be working from home instead of having a boss. There are 1,000 ways the Lovers can manifest. And look at the Seven of Pentacles, the card of assessment. You're looking at what you've planted over the past weeks, months, or even years, and whether the harvest suits you. And if not, it's time to adjust. And here, we're talking about this assessment in the realm of the Lovers. So again, the same dynamic. Does your current life truly suit you? You might reflect on the key areas of your life, your living situation, how you spend your days, your work, your relationships, your health, your finances. Do all these things feel right? And for each one, ask yourself if it aligns with your soul's longing, that deep joy that must be reclaimed. And this assessment is likely already underway for you over these 2 months. It's the same sorting we saw earlier in your emotional life. What are you deeply longing for? What have you forgotten, maybe for years, but is still so important to you? And before we close with the message from the little oracle, let's look at the precious advice from the guides to support you over these 2 months and help you find that deep joy from the Six of Cups. And you've drawn the Three of Swords. Yes, it's a powerful card. We see a heart pierced through in a barren landscape. But remember, this is in the position of guidance. So this card becomes a key. It doesn't speak of future pain, but of healing. And the guides show you that this current phase of life is here to help you release an old wound, perhaps even a soul wound that you've carried for a long time. Of course, it'll differ for everyone. For some, it might be a romantic breakup that was never healed, or a betrayal in a trusted relationship, friendship, family, or work. It could also stem from childhood, a feeling of abandonment, being judged or rejected for who you truly are, or a deep sense of injustice that's followed you, or a part of yourself that never had the chance to exist because it was always under someone else's control or influence, whether from family, love, or friendship circles. But whatever it is, the Three of Swords tells you there's a beautiful healing ahead. One that allows you to reclaim your power and rediscover the innocence and joy of the Six of Cups. This Three of Swords may even be the most powerful card of the reading because it opens the door to profound inner healing. And once this wound is healed, you'll be fully ready to welcome the joy your soul longs for. It's truly beautiful. And we'll close with the message from the Little Intuition Oracle from the Chakra series. It's the throat chakra, communication. Your authenticity is beautiful and meant to be expressed. Listen to your truth. Dare to say what you feel deep inside, and your words will naturally be inspired. Well, what more can be said? Dare to express yourself. Remember the Seven of Wands. Dare to defend your choices, your decisions, even if your loved ones don't support you, encourage you, or even try to dissuade you. I'll also add a link in the description to an audiobook that includes a guided meditation to help rebalance your chakras. Well, my dear Virgo friends, what a reading. Feel free to watch your rising and moon signs for a more personal message. I'm sending you all my love. Take good care of yourself. Don't forget the link in the description, and I'll see you again on August 28th for your next guidance.